All right, let's talk about something that's, well, it's absolutely critical for anyone building a solar power system. How in the world do you wire your panels? I know, it might seem like a small detail, but believe me, the choice between series and parallel can make or break your system's efficiency and even its safety. So let me ask you this. Are you really, truly getting every last watt out of your solar setup? You've spent the money on the panels, the batteries, that fancy charge controller, but is it all playing together as a team? More often than not, the answer comes down to this one single decision. This isn't just about plugging in some cables. It's about how you deliver power to your MPPT charge controller, which is basically the brain of your whole solar charging operation. If you get this part wrong, you could be leaving a ton of power on the table. Or worse, you could be putting some very expensive equipment at risk. Okay, so here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll get into why this choice is so important for your MPPT controller. Then, we'll break down the absolute basics of series versus parallel. After that, the fun part. We'll put them through a real-world test. Then we'll cover the must-know safety checks, look at a cool hybrid solution, and wrap it all up with a final checklist to help you make the right call. So why all the fuss about wiring? Well, your MPPT controller, that stands for Maximum Power Point Tracking, is designed to be super efficient, but only within a certain sweet spot of voltage and current. How you wire your panels is what directly controls the voltage and current you're feeding it, and that determines how well it can actually charge your batteries. All right, let's break down our two main options here. On the surface, they might seem kind of similar, but when you look at the electricity, they are polar opposites. With series wiring, you're literally making a chain. You connect the positive of one panel to the negative of the next, and so on. Think about how you put batteries in a flashlight, end to end. That's series. Parallel, on the other hand, is totally different. You connect all the positives together in one group and all the negatives together in another. This creates a bunch of different paths for the electricity to flow. Okay, now here's where it gets really interesting, the electrical result. When you wire in series, the voltages add up. So if you have three 12-volt panels, you suddenly have a 36-volt string. But, and this is key, the current measured in amps stays the same as just one of those panels. So higher voltage, same current. And with parallel, you flip that equation on its head. This time, the currents add up. So if you have three panels that each put out 5 amps, your total is now 15 amps. But the voltage, it stays the same as a single panel. Three 12-volt panels in parallel still give you just 12 volts. So same voltage, higher current. So the theory is great and all, but what happens when things get messy? In the real world where things aren't always perfect. Let's throw some common problems at these two setups and see who comes out on top. First up, the arch nemesis of solar, partial shading. It could be a tree branch, a passing cloud, heck, even a big bird dropping. In a series string, remember, everything is in one long chain. So one panel that's underperforming acts like a clog in a pipe, slowing down the flow for the entire string. And wow, this chart tells the story, doesn't it? Look at that massive drop. Shading just one panel in a series string can tank your output by 70%, maybe even more. But look at the parallel array. It's so much more resilient. Since every panel has its own lane, the shaded one takes a hit, but the others just keep on cranking, which means your total output stays way, way higher. Okay, next challenge. This one is way less obvious, but honestly, it's a lot more dangerous. The cold. It's kind of counterintuitive, but solar panels actually produce higher voltage when they're cold. And that's not a good thing. It's a serious risk. So here's the deal. That series string that's running at a perfectly safe voltage on a nice summer day, on a freezing cold morning, its voltage can spike. And I mean spike, way over the maximum limit of your charge controller. And when that happens, poof, you can literally fry your expensive controller. Because parallel wiring doesn't stack voltage, it's just inherently safer in the cold. And finally, let's talk about mismatched panels. What if you have panels of different ages, or different brands, or just tiny differences from the factory? In a series string, it's that weakest link in the chain problem all over again. The whole string is forced to perform at the level of the absolute worst panel in the bunch. Okay, so now we know the risks. We've seen what can go wrong. Let's get practical and talk about how to use this knowledge to design a system that's not just powerful, but more importantly, safe. To do this, you need to get friendly with two little numbers on the sticker on the back of your solar panel. The first is VOC, or open circuit voltage. That's the absolute max voltage the panel can ever produce, usually on a really cold day. The second is ISC, or short circuit current. That's the max current it can put out. These are your red lines, your do not cross safety limits. So here's your 4-step safety playbook. And listen, this is absolutely non-negotiable. First, find those VOC and IC numbers. Second, do the math. Calculate the maximum possible voltage and current for your whole array based on how you plan to wire it. Third, you must make sure those numbers are safely below the maximum limits printed on your MPPT controller. And finally, you have to size your wires and your fuses so they can handle that absolute maximum current. This table here pretty much sums it all up. For series, you take the panel's VOC and multiply by how many panels you have. That total voltage has to be less than your controller's max voltage. For parallel, you take the panel's ISC and multiply by the number of panels. That total current has to be less than your controller's max current. It's simple math, but it is absolutely critical. So you're probably thinking, okay, what if I want the high voltage efficiency I get from series, but I need the shade tolerance I get from parallel? Well, lucky for you, there's a pro-level solution for that. It's called a series parallel, or a hybrid setup. It's actually pretty clever. You create a few short strings of panels wired in series, say 2 or 3 panels per string. Then you take those individual strings and wire them together in parallel. This gives you a nice voltage boost to keep your controller happy and efficient, but it also means that if one of your strings gets shaded, the other ones just keep humming along. It really is the best of both worlds. All right, that was a lot of info, I know. So let's boil it all down into one final checklist that will help you make the right call for your specific situation. So, which is right for you? Well, ask yourself these questions. Do you deal with frequent shade from trees or buildings? Then you should probably lean towards parallel. Do you have a really long run of wire from your panels down to your controller? Series is great for that because higher voltage lets you use smaller, cheaper wire. Do you live somewhere that gets seriously cold? You have to be super careful with series and double-check those voltage calculations. Using older or mismatched panels, parallel is definitely your friend. And if you want the absolute best performance and safety, it's time to start thinking about a hybrid design. So at the end of the day, it really all comes down to a classic engineering trade-off. Every single design choice is about managing risk. And now that you know the stakes, the choice is up to you. Are you going to design your system to avoid the catastrophic risk of overvoltage? Or are you going to design it to avoid the slow death by 1,000 cuts from overcurrent and shading? The right answer? Well, that depends entirely on your setup, your climate, and what you need your system to do.